Thanks for tuning in to this week's news recap. Terra struggles to revive amidst infighting and regulatory pressure. In the wake of UST's collapse, the Terra Luna community sought a way forward, even as it demanded more details on what happened to the Luna Foundation Guard's $3 billion crypto reserve, and as regulators came knocking. Terraform Labs co-founder Do Kwon made two proposals to revive the chain. Both were massively criticized by the community, and even by big names like Ethereum creator Vitalik Buterin and Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao. Do Kwon's third proposal consisted of forking Terra into a new chain without an algorithmic stablecoin. The idea is to rename the current chain Terra Classic and the current native token as LUNC, Luna Classic. The new chain, Kwon proposes, would be called Terra, with the native token Luna. The new chain would have 1 billion Luna tokens and would be airdropped across Luna and Classic stakers, Luna Classic holders, residual UST holders, and essential app developers of Terra Classic. The proposal was put out for an on-chain vote on Wednesday. As of press time Thursday afternoon, it seems it is going to pass, as it has the support of Terraform Labs and Terra Builders Alliance, a community of developers and builders within the Terra ecosystem. However, some validators are not fans. Allnode's CEO Konstantin Boyko Romanovsky said to The Block, "The whole governance process of this proposal looks like a dictatorship model. It looks like the launch of the new chain is decided even before voting is finished." As for the $3 billion in Bitcoin reserves, the Luna Foundation Guard, which was in charge of defending the UST peg with the Bitcoin, finally sheds some light on what happened. According to an announcement on Twitter, when UST started depegging, LFG said it converted the 80,000 Bitcoins, or $3.1 billion, in its reserve to UST to defend the peg. After the massive sell-off, it was left with a reserve of 313 Bitcoin, or $8 million. According to Elliptic, a blockchain analytics company, 52,000 Bitcoins were moved into Gemini and the remaining 28,000 were moved into Binance. However, Tom Robinson, co-founder of Elliptic, said to CoinDesk that beyond that, we can't really see how it's been used. In other related Terra news, South Korean authorities are now investigating the Terra collapse. A specialized financial crimes unit called Grim Reaper will look into the methods Terraform Labs used to attract investors. Kwon has been charged with tax evasion and faces a penalty of 100 billion won, or $78.5 million, for failing to pay corporate and income tax. The Terraform Labs legal team resigned shortly after the crash, making these issues harder for Kwon to navigate. Tether releases its long-awaited attestation report. On Thursday, Tether, or USDT, the world's largest US dollar stablecoin, released its first attestation report in 6 months. After the UST chaos, this report was highly anticipated, as investors have been cashing out of stablecoins, with USDT supply dropping $7 billion in the past few days alone. Tether reported a reduction in its commercial paper holdings by 17% from December 2021 through March 2022, from $24.2 billion to $19.9 billion. USDT has a market cap of $74 billion and is fully backed, according to the attestation made by accountancy firm MHA Cayman, which reported that USDT is backed by assets that amounted to at least $83 billion. This latest attestation further highlights that Tether is fully backed and that the composition of its reserves is strong, conservative, and liquid, said Paolo Ardoino, the CTO of Tether, in a statement. As promised, it demonstrates a commitment by the company to reduce its commercial paper investments. In other stablecoin news, DAI, an algorithmic stablecoin from the DeFi protocol Deuce Finance, lost its peg against the dollar this week. DAI is now trading around 60 cents according to CoinMarketCap, after hitting a low of 51.7 cents on Monday. Chinese Bitcoin miners are back. According to new data from the Cambridge Center for Alternative Finance, or CCAF, China has reclaimed its place as a Bitcoin mining world leader. Even after a ban that prohibited crypto trading and mining in China last year, the Asian country is now the second largest producer of hash rate. The data was disclosed in the Cambridge Bitcoin Electricity Consumption Index, or CBECI, whose goal is to map mining activity around the world based on the geolocational data reported by mining pools. In December 2021, China accounted for 21.1% of the global hash rate, with that figure dropping to 0% after the ban, as was shown by previous data from Cambridge. Web3 wallets had a big week. Robinhood, one of the biggest stock trading platforms in the US, said it plans to develop a new non-custodial mobile wallet for Web3. According to the company's blog, customers will be able to hold the keys for their own crypto and access dApps to trade and swap crypto with no network fees, store NFTs and connect to NFT marketplaces, earn yield using their assets, and access a variety of crypto assets. Robinhood's wallet will begin testing this summer and has a waitlist for early access. The company intends to have the product available for all its customers by the end of this year. Coinbase also announced the release of a Web3 wallet. Selected customers will have the ability to access Web3 decentralized applications directly from the Coinbase app. Users will be able to buy and hold NFTs, trade on DEXs, and even use some of the major DeFi platforms like Compound and Curve to borrow, lend, and swap tokens. Notably, Coinbase users will be able to explore decentralized applications without having to manage a recovery phrase. Multi-party computation technology allows this innovative experience and enables users to have a dedicated on-chain wallet that Coinbase helps keep secured. Crypto adoption ramps up. Cloudflare announced plans to run and fully stake Ethereum validator nodes, making it the first publicly traded company to make such a move, according to Evan Van Ness. Over the next few months, Cloudflare will launch and fully stake Ethereum validator nodes on the Cloudflare global network as the community approaches its transition from proof of work to proof of stake with the merge, the company said in its announcement. It added, "This is just the start of our commitment to help the next generation of Web3 networks." Additionally, Spotify will start testing NFTs on its platform, according to a report by Music Ally. Spotify will test NFTs with select users based in the US, and NFTs will appear under the artist's songs and albums, but users will need to go to an external marketplace to make their purchase. Here's another reminder, not your keys, not your coins. In light of Coinbase's announcement that the exchange would retain user assets in the event of a bankruptcy, officials from Joe Biden's administration are pressing Congress to demand cryptocurrency exchanges keep their customers' money separate from corporate funds. Don't think you actually own your tokens when you go into a digital wallet, said SEC Chair Gary Gensler. However, Gus Coldebella, partner at True Ventures, tweeted that the Biden administration's logic gets a lot wrong. Coldebella thinks the problem is how bankruptcy law treats exchange wallets. For this reason, a legitimate fix that forces cryptocurrency exchanges to keep their customers' money separate from their own corporate funds is no fix at all. It's not the source of the problem, and it doesn't solve the legal issue, he wrote. On a related note, SEC Chair Gary Gensler testified before the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Financial Services and General Government this week and asked for a bigger budget to control the crypto space. Two other regulation-adjacent stories caught my attention. Reuters reported that finance ministers from G7 countries are calling for more crypto legislation. In light of the recent turmoil in the crypto asset market, the G7 urges the FSB, or Financial Stability Board, to advance the swift development and implementation of consistent and comprehensive regulation, the ministers wrote in the draft document. TRM Labs, a blockchain analytics company, launched a platform for users to report crypto scams and other illicit activity. TRM is currently using raw data from the blockchain to create insights to investigate crypto frauds and financial crimes. For more info on TRM Labs, subscribe to my premium bulletin newsletter, where I did an exclusive interview with Ari Redboard, CEO. Testing. Ethereum merge's biggest test is set for June. Ethereum's main public testnet, Ropsten, is set to go through the merge in June. Merging Ropsten is a huge testing milestone toward Ethereum's main net merge, which is projected to happen in a few months. The merge is the most anticipated event of the year in the Ethereum ecosystem. At that time, the Ethereum mainnet will transition from the proof-of-work consensus mechanism to proof-of-stake. Even though there is no exact date set for the merge, Ethereum core developer Preston Van Loon hinted on Twitter that it would happen sometime this year. Time for fun bits. Nobody has any Luna. Apparently, the only ones that lost millions of dollars in the Terra Luna fiasco were retail investors. According to some tweets and press releases, major VC firms and investment funds have confirmed that they had no or very little exposure to Luna. Among these companies are Pantera Capital, Galaxy Digital, Multicoin, Dragonfly, Framework, and Onjuno, which, disclosure, is a sponsor of my shows. On Wednesday, after saying nothing for more than 10 days, Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz broke his silence. He said Galaxy has no exposure to algorithmic stablecoins. This is coming from a man who has a tattoo of the Luna token on his arm. He said, "My tattoo will be a constant reminder that venture investing requires humility." On the latest episode of The Chopping Block, Dragonfly's Haseeb Qureshi said he wasn't inclined to believe all these stories. "Everyone I talk to says they are okay. Somebody must be lying," he said, laughing. In agreement with Haseeb, Kevin Zhou, the Chopping Block guest, added, "There is no way that's true, but what would be even more harrowing is that if it was true, it would mean that the insiders dumped on retail and got out unscratched." Eventually, a few companies admitted to having exposure to Luna. Delphi Digital said on Thursday it has a large unrealized loss, and Hashed Wallet, a venture fund, sold $3.5 billion, according to Unchained data. Thanks so much for joining us today. To learn more about Tasha, stablecoins, and the Terra Luna fallout, check out the show notes for this episode. Unchained is produced by me, Laura Shin, with help from Anthony Yoon, Daniel Ness, Mark Murdoch, Shashank, and CLK Transcription. Thanks for listening.